What's going on, guys? Welcome to today's video. Welcome to the new office that's not finished but new. Anywho, let's get right to it. Today we're going to go over how I set up and how you could potentially set up a very clean yet simple motovlogging setup. Now, this is going to be very general, straight to the point, so if you have any more in-depth questions or anything like that, feel free to leave a comment and I'll try my best to get to it as soon as possible. But anyways, overall this is how it looks. This is what we're going for. This is a Speed and Strength 1310 modeled helmet, tinted visor, and a GoPro Hero 7 Black mounted to the front on the chin. That's how it looks. And it has a condenser mic on the right cheek pad here, our left, but right on the inside. Now let's get to it. This is everything that I used to get this accomplished, to get this clean look. Alright, for starters, we're using GoPro Hero 7 Black. The mount itself, right here, try to contrast it, is made by a company called SUREWO. I'll make sure to link in the description below all these products so you can find them. I got that off of Amazon. It's the chin mount. It's an aluminum motorcycle mount. So the reason why we went with that is because I saw some cheap plastic ones, which for the cost it wasn't bad, but a lot of reviewers said that like the joints for where it connects, because it looks exactly like this. In fact, this company makes a plastic version of it, and there's nothing wrong with it, except I think that a lot of people had turbulence, and at the joints, like I said, where you tighten and clamp it down, they're having cracking over time in the plastic, I'm assuming from road vibration. So that's why I decided to go with the aluminum mount. Even though it adds some weight, it's aluminum, so it's not too bad. That was a concern of mine, but it does come with everything you need. It came with like 4 3M sticky pads, which mind you, they didn't do too bad of a job. This whole setup, there is a bit of weight to it, so I was a little bit concerned, but it didn't seem to be too big of a deal. I just did a test ride. I'll put that in this video at the end so you can kind of see what it looks like, but it did hold up. I was worrying about the weight kind of twisting it. In case you end up using up all the pads, it's $49.91 is the product code for the 3M VHB tape that GoPro provides for you. So you can go on Amazon, search, like 3M $49.91 VHB tape, and you should come up with like individual rolls that you can buy to kind of do more if you end up going through more, or if you just need extra, whatever that may be. I did originally try to stack these pads, but that wasn't good. It held really well, but if you were to twist it, it was very easy to twist and would fall off, so I wouldn't advise stacking pads. What I ended up doing was using a product called QuikSteel. It's Epoxy Putty, and basically what I did in short was I put some painter's tape, you can use masking tape, but cover the area that you want to mount this to, and then basically you just ball up the putty per the instructions. Just follow the instructions, but you activate it, and then I balled it, put it underneath this actual mount itself alone without the rest, and then I pushed it down to basically make a mold. And then after I was done with that, I sanded down the sides, sanded very gently on the bottom part to where it would connect to the actual helmet itself, and it made a nice secure connection. The reason why I say that is because this helmet has a lot of curves. You probably can't see them, there it is. A lot of ridges, and there's just really no flat surface. Even with the GoPro curved mount, it would rock when you put it next to it, so there was just a lot of clearance and it needed to be reduced. So that's why I ended up making the mold, which perfect. And to be honest with you, it sounds like there's a lot to it. There really isn't. It's like playing with Play-Doh. It's very easy to do. It sets in 5 minutes, so it gives you ample enough time to kind of make adjustments if you make an error. And then it takes about an hour to cure totally, and then once it fully cures, then it's waterproof, weatherproof, heat-proof, so you can basically go ahead then and start shaping it the way you need. Again, just be a little bit gentle at the bottom part, because you want it to kind of stay that form that your helmet is, so it gets a secure mount. But anyways, that's that. So very secure, good product. I'll totally recommend it. Even comes with a GoPro tool, so you can tighten here which I don't know why you would want to over tighten that. You can just use your hand, it's fine, but the bolts that it comes with are nice and low profile and you're able to just tighten them up. So really sweet. All right, next up is the MOVO microphone that I'm using. Again, got this on Amazon as well. It's the GM100. I think it works well. It comes with an adapter, but not the kind that'll work for this particular GoPro. Since it's the Hero 7 Black, it has a USB Type-C connection on the side. So unfortunately, you have to move on and get this product, which is the Pro 3.5mm mic adapter from GoPro. You can find it on Amazon. You can also just go directly to GoPro's site. If you buy this from GoPro directly, you do get free 2-day shipping. I guess depending on where you live. I live in the United States, in Michigan, so there's no problem. So it came to me pretty dang quick. So overall, that's all the things that you would need to create this. And how I ran the cable here was I was able to just take a zip tie. I don't know if you can see it, but I zip tied right here to secure the cable to the mount. And then I just tucked the adapter to the back because it has a rubberized texture to it. So it's a little bit harder to adhere to the side of your helmet. Plus I figure less is more in this one. So less stuff actually mounted to the helmet itself, the less you have to worry about flying off. I was doing this on the ground, so not a lot of high speed. I really don't know how it would fare with like an actual bigger CC bike that goes faster. So it does feel pretty secure. I read that some people have used this and actually did some riding on a sport bike going like 100 plus miles per hour, give or take. Again, take that with a grain of salt. Someone saying that, just use your best judgment. If that's what your plan is, go ahead and mount it up and let it bond. The mounting tape, you want to allow up to 72 hours to get full strength. So basically give yourself some time. Don't rush it. Just go ahead, find the place you want it to. Again, one pad is the best because then it's just less twisting it can do, so you don't have to worry about it. Once you start stacking pads, it does help reduce the wiggle, kind of like what the epoxy, the putty did for me, the mold that we made. That was the whole point. I just did that instead so we didn't have to use multiple pads, and then voila, I don't have any twisting, so it holds pretty good. So I'm fairly confident in this. I really do think that it probably could go higher speeds than what a ground is capable of, and I'm talking around like 55 miles per hour. I'm sure it can go higher than that, but again, for me it was no purpose, so this definitely does the trick. It's pretty clean and simple, I think, especially for being a first timer. The second time around I probably would have put tape over the actual mount itself, so that way it just stayed true black. You can see where I had some putty on my gloves that I was using, and as I was like trying to push down on it, it was sticking to the top. And I didn't really bother sanding it down because this is my first time, so, and this will definitely not be my last. If this works good, I'll probably just order another one and slap it on another helmet later on down the road. I'm not just going to go buying helmets for no reason. I just wanted to try this out and see if I like it. So far so good, worked great. And for the wire, all I did was take some electrical tape to kind of keep it flush and not flying around flapping in the wind, and then just ran it underneath. And then most pads, or most helmets nowadays have the removable cheek pads, so you just remove some of it, what you need, and then you just kind of start laying it in there and tuck it behind the pads. And the microphone is actually sitting right here at the cheek. You can't really see it because of my lighting, but it's right there at the opening, so really close to the mouth. I tested it with the visor down for less wind reduction. I don't know, the next time I'll try it with the visor up and see how bad the wind is, but I would definitely just recommend visor down, which is kind of a bummer on a hot day, but we'll see how it goes. Who knows, you know, just ride how you like. You know, footage comes second as far as like comfortability on the bike and obviously safety and things like that. So just take your time with it. And again, if you do a setup, especially if you're a first timer like myself, I will be over the course of a few rides, you know, always checking to make sure that, you know, this thing is secure. If it's not, then I'll just remove it, get some more tape, put it on there. I am looking for a permanent solution though, so I think that I really like the way this looks. So if this foam pad fails for some reason on a pre-check or something before a ride, I'll probably actually just end up putting the putty and just mounting it completely to the helmet and just keeping it permanent, because, you know, this isn't my only motorcycle helmet, so I don't mind it being there, and it's just nice to have a permanent setup where you don't have to worry about it flying off. So again, you know, it hasn't been a concern yet. The ride today for the test ride went really well, so I have high hopes for this. But hopefully this was able to help you guys. If it did, please you know, consider liking and subscribing to the channel. If not, if anything, hopefully it gave you a little bit of clarity. If you don't like this setup, at least you know some of the items that I got. They're not really too bad. I think the plastic version of this mount is like 10-15 bucks. This aluminum one that I got is like $26, like 26-27 bucks, but definitely worth it. Great bang for your buck, and good quality product all around. It just feels like it's worth the money. It doesn't feel like I wasted money. For this microphone, it's the MOVO GM100. Again, I'll put links in the description below. I think this was about like, I don't know, 10 bucks, 15 bucks at most. I want to say 10, but really cheap. And then also this one, which was the most expensive piece because it's the official GoPro product. I don't know if there's any mics that are USB Type-C at the end that you can just plug in, let alone if it would just work or not. But this was 50 bucks. And then the cost of the camera, but I already had the camera, so I didn't really consider that because I already had it for a while. I have the SUREWO outside, and sometimes I mount it onto that and have a little fun. So, but all right, cool. Again, hope you guys enjoyed. Let's go to the sequence where I'm going to put in the video of me riding, so that way you get an idea of how it looks. The reason why we went with the chin setup is because I like how it looks on the helmet. But the most important thing is the view, the POV. It's great. I think it's the closest you can get to it being your eyes. And depending on how you ride, you give yourself some space. You can see from sitting on a table, it's kind of pointed up because naturally my head bows a little bit in the riding position, in a comfortable riding position. If it was like a sport bike, I would probably have a more aggressive seating position, in which case I would need to swing this arm out a little bit more and then to be able to arc the camera a little bit higher up, so that way you can capture what I'm seeing. But anyways, there it is. So let's cut to the footage. The footage is 2.7K for the video capture at 60 frames a second, and no Pro Tune on there. It's basically stock, just very easy setup. 2.7K, widescreen, 60 frames a second, with hypersmooth stabilization. I will say that I will try 1080 at a higher frame rate with not hypersmooth stabilization, because the fact that you're putting this on your chin, it's on your head acts naturally as a gimbal when you ride, so there shouldn't be a lot of stabilization issues anyways. But I did want to try hypersmooth for the first time because that's kind of like the gimmick for the GoPro Hero 7 Black, is that hypersmooth stabilization. So that's what you guys are going to see. And it was shot at about like 8 or 9 o'clock at night, so it is getting a little dark out there. But again, it was just kind of a test to see, will this hold up, did this hold up? And it sure did, so super happy with the result. All right, sorry for dragging that on. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Enjoy. Hey, what's going on, guys? So we're gonna give this GoPro vlogging setup a quick trial run. Leanne's over there laughing at me. I wonder if she can hear what I'm saying right now. Anyways, we just had this set up, and it's been curing for more than 3 days as far as the mount is concerned. So, before I get started too, so this is what we picked up. I'm sure I probably either already made another video or I'm going to be. We got these 2 groms here. I guess I'll tell the story of that once we get up and ride. Hopefully the angles look okay. Again, this is kind of a trial run. Groms don't go fast, so it should stick just fine. But there's a lot of weight to this vlogging setup, and that's just kind of what I want to check. So, you know, I don't know how it would do on a big boy bike or big girl bike, but for this it should be fine. I think I got this thing up to like 55. What is that at right now? 93 total miles, so it's still brand new. It's 2018 Honda Gram. So I just want to be part of the Grom squad. Alright, let's go. Some Michigan mini moto going on here. So anyways, we picked up these 2 Groms. I basically had ridden bikes for a long time now. I just never really shared it with the channel. And for the most part, sorry, kind of looking around here, getting used to it. We just moved. We're now in Clinton Township, Michigan. Super close to my work now, which is cool. That's not why we did it though. We're just looking at bigger houses. I guess I'm going a little bit everywhere right now as far as what I'm talking about. Let's get back on topic. So we got these 2 Groms just because I've been riding bikes for a while. I really love sport bikes, to be honest with you. The last bike that I just had before this Grom was a Harley. What was it? Sportster 48 1200. It was the 2016 model. Love the bike, really fun. It's my second cruiser that I've ever owned, personally, per se. And basically I just really wasn't riding the thing. It was cool to have. I take it out every so often, but basically it just turned into a sitter. Just sat in the garage, did the full exhaust and everything, all the bells and whistles that I enjoyed. Had it sounding the way I liked, looked the way I liked. I just wasn't riding it, wasn't putting any miles on it. I think I sold it with or no, so I didn't even sell it. I just traded it in for, I think it was what, 1,700 miles? Yeah, 1,700 or maybe a little bit less than that. But we got these Groms because, you know, everyone knows with the dealer trade-in you don't really get much. I owed some money still on the bike, but then the opportunity came up from the boys over there in Monroe, Trojan Power Sports, and they said, hey, bring the bike in if it looks good. What are you looking for, just cash? Or I'm just like, I'm looking for Groms. He's like, oh, bring it in, you know, if everything looks good, we'll do a fair trade up of it, just period, like just even Stevens. So I did that, and here we are. So now we got these 2 Groms. That's probably blown out more than it needed to be. Sorry, I got a lot on my mind. So we just moved to a new house. Haven't really had a lot of time to make videos because in order to get this new house we had to sell the old house, and that was kind of the hang up. So just a lot of stuff that we had to go through to get to where we are now. But we got a larger house, which is really cool. Oh, I'm gonna let Leanne know what's going on. I'm just gonna loop it one more time. But yeah, so got this house, and finally things are starting to kind of come together and get more time, spending time with my son. That comes first, along with Babe. So, you know, I try to get off the camera for a while. I don't really live too much behind the lens except for like the YouTube stuff, and I've always had a curiosity on like motovlogging, so I finally decided to pull the trigger. I already had most of the crucial components to do the motovlogging, which is get a camera. I already had this GoPro Hero 7 Black. So my helmet before was an Icon helmet, and I love it. I still have it, but it is, no joke, really beat up. I've had it for about 4 to 5 years now, maybe even longer. Had it since I had I think my CBR 1000. So it's been through a lot, and I'll be quite frank, I didn't really take care of it the best, so it's falling apart. So I figured, why would I mount a new camera and stuff to that? So I went up and picked up this helmet. I'm using a Speed and Strength 1310, I believe. Pretty cool deal. I got it from the guys up at Monroe Power Sports. Lloyd owns it. It's acquaintance of a buddy of mine that I work with, Tom. So kudos, big thumbs up. Thanks Tom and Lloyd, really hooked it up, gave us good deals on a pair of helmets. Got one for the lady as well, so we got matching helmets. It's just very simple and subtle, but you know, what was really cool is it came with a tinted visor, and I've always ridden with the tinted visor, so it was kind of cool. So saved some money there, and a couple other things. But moral of the story is, really excited, and we're going to start motovlogging here. So hopefully this little audio / video test runs good. It's kind of dark out right now. Time is at like 8:32, so, but hopefully it yields pretty good content, and I hopefully able to upload some more for you guys, because I really do enjoy riding, and these Groms are perfect for this type of thing. If you ask me, it's a lot of people ask like, hey, is Grom a good a good bike. Yeah, I think any motorcycle is really a good bike, but I will say this, I don't believe it's the great first bike unless you're looking for someone that's like a short stature. I'm pretty short myself, like I'm 5'7". There are people that are shorter, and you get good footing. I don't know if you can see it, but good footing, but it lacks power. That's a known thing. So, you know, it's a great BS bike though. It's, I think, how was it Blockhead? That's a pretty cool guy to watch. I watch him sometimes. It's a great BS bike, so really easy on the maintenance, easy to learn on. So in that retrospect or aspect, it's a great bike. But, you know, don't get one if you're really looking for speed. And even if you're not right away, just give it a good thought about any type of vehicle purchase you're going to get, because you know, you want to make sure you're not going to grow out of it too quick, because then you're going to want to immediately upgrade. But either way, I jumped everywhere with topics just because I just wanted something to talk about. But the whole point of this was to test out the mount while on the Grom to see how this motovlogging will come out. And yeah, so hopefully it looks good. I will take a look at it, and I'm not really one for editing, so I'm just going to post this regardless if it looks like crap or not. But we'll give it the look. Sorry, the visor down. It's so hot. I'll try to keep the wind noise down because we got the mic in here. So anyways, that's it, guys. So hopefully you enjoy this video, and hopefully the segment that I'm going to shoot and give to you beforehand was useful. I'm going to go over what I did and what I bought to set this up, so you guys can do the same if you're just getting into motovlogging like I am. But oh yeah, that's it. Cheers, guys. Have a good one. Thanks for watching. If you liked it too, you know, consider hitting like and subscribe. And if you didn't, you know, shoot some comments or something. Just let me know. But either way, appreciate it. Check you guys later. Ooh.